Hi, welcome back to a boat called Wanda. It's not working out for me so well this time. I came down late because I had a few too many beers last night and I woke up with a bit of a hangover, which is just stupid at my age. But yeah, so I was slow to get down here. I just sat on my iPhone and the screen's gone into a million pieces. And I've forgotten tools, so I've got tools in the container, which is probably about a 25-minute round trip, 20 minutes maybe. So yeah, a couple of things aren't working out so well, and I've only got a couple of hours, so it's going to be a very non-productive update. But first up, I've brought out this little troublemaker again because I just wanted to go down and check that bilge because obviously it filled up with water again, and I just want to see what it's done, whether it's actually created a really saturated laminate or if it's dried out. So let's take a quick look. But of course the battery's dead, isn't it? So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it saved me from further bad news. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is get in the car, drive over to the container. I need to get my Dremel tool. So what I wanted to do today as part of the sealing up and waterproofing was to take out the core. Here I've got, there you go, here I've got the two fillers. There's water and a fuel filler here, and I've cut through the core, which is the core that I replaced. So the core is really good, but I just want to get the Dremel and take that core out and put some epoxy so that I can then put in the fillers. And I've got a polisher that I want to polish up those fillers to see if I can restore them. So back in 20 minutes. Okay, so I've just taken this material out. Not sure if you can see it well, yeah, you can kind of, well, I can see. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. You might remember that I drilled down and then filled it with thickened epoxy so that I could drill into that rather than the core, and I can see that there, so that's come up quite nicely. There's these 3 cylinders with all the rest of the core taken out, so now I can just fill this cavity up. Right, well, I'm back again. I've actually didn't put out an update last week because I had such a bad time forgetting everything and only had a couple of hours work. So anyway, I'm back this weekend, which is good because all that thickened epoxy is dried. As you can hear, it's pretty windy out there and the tent's flapping around. I was really nervous when I got down here that everything would have come off and there'd be water through the boat, but fingers crossed so far, touch wood. It's held up okay, so yeah, the boat's waterproof, nothing in the bilge. Yeah, so right, focus now. I need to finish off those fillers with the fuel and waters, but quickly I got a battery for my moisture meter, so let's bring that out and see what it tells us about that bilge. Right, well, it's really windy out here. You can hear that flapping around. So here it is. Let's see. Can you hear anything? Look at that. Try again. Green. Well, I'm really thrilled with that. There's seriously water up to my knee, and I was just sure that everything was going to be saturated, and to go through that stupid bloody process again, but everything is green. So it just goes to show, even though this was completely saturated, well, filled with water, the water didn't actually penetrate the laminate, which it's not meant to. Water's not meant to go in there. So obviously I removed all the bad stuff. I got all that sort of sogginess out, and this is, you know, sound again. So I'm still going to come back and laminate in here, but really pleased to know that it's taken a full bilge of water, which probably sat there for 10 days, and you know, the laminate is still dry. So great. Let's crack on. Well, I've hit disappointment already, I'm afraid. So I'm out here. I've got this little bench grinder with a polishing mop on it, and I just wanted to work on these fillers and just sort of polish them up a little bit before I set them into the deck. And the problem with these is that they're quite pitted, and it looks like these are plated, maybe chrome plated or something. And it looks like that plating's coming off. So all that's happened when I've sanded it with wet and dry 1200 and then put it under the first of the cutting wheels or buffing wheels, it's put a bit of a polish on it, but all this yellow's coming through. So I feel like I'm taking off some kind of chrome finish to it, and maybe underneath it's like brass, or there's a, yeah, it can't be bronze, must be like a brass element to it. So it's not really coming out as expected, and I'm not really sure what to do. Of course, there's that old saying, you can't polish a turd. Maybe this is a turd, I don't know. So, because I don't really know what I'm doing, I wish I knew more about metals. I'm going to leave it and do some more research to see what's meant to happen. I mean, this is a good indication here. You can see that there's some quite deep pitting, so these might not be worth salvaging. It's just really weird that it's sort of coming up like brass. This is what it starts off like. It is kind of like, you know, silver stainless steel, and then I cut it back, and you see that yellow coming through? If anybody knows anything about metals, let me know. I'm going to hit the pause button for this. I'm going to do some research. I'm also going to see if I can buy replacements. They need to be exactly the same size. I don't want to cut any new holes in the deck. So I'm going to have to move on to something else for today. So I'm going to take a look now at the dorade vents, because they need to be redone, and I've got some new vents called air only, which are different size, so I'm going to have to try and see if they'll fit in there. So this is a new product. It's called air only, and I think this is what Hallberg-Rassy's fit these days in the new boat. So basically this is a vent, and it's got all of these little sort of foam balls, they're spheres that sit in these channels here, like that, and this is the top. And so when you get water, so you get air coming through the sides here and down through the bottom opening, but when you get a surge of water over the deck, all the little foam things go to the top and seal it off. So basically it keeps any water from coming in whilst letting the air in. And apparently if you take a knockdown and this goes upside down in the water, it will automatically close as well. So that's pretty cool, because at the moment there's just these holes here really. That one's got tape on it. Have a look from the top. Because at the moment there's just these probably 2-3 inch holes that go all the way through. So call me paranoid, but it's a lot of water to come in if you go upside down. So yeah, I'm going to fit these. So what I need to do, this is a 95mm hole that these take, and this is probably about 75mm. And the other thing that I need to be mindful of is that if I take the existing dorade cowling, which I want to use, this will sit here, and there's not a lot of clearance either side, so I really need to make sure that it's going to sit in there right before I drill the hole. And then obviously that's where the cowling goes. And this is the top here, so I need to first of all cut this off either side, so that I can then sit the vent down here and then see if there's enough clearance within the dorade box, because there's the previous holes marked out here which I want to reuse. Oh, windy under here. Yeah, unfortunately it's the same as last time. I haven't got bits here that I need with me. I can't bring all of my tools down from the container every time, but I always seem to be missing key things. So this time it's the Ryobi battery for my jigsaw, because I need to make some star cuts through here so I can knock this out and get this completely flush. It's really important that's flush so that I can hot glue down a guide template, so that when I drill that 95mm hole through the deck with my hole saw, that it's nice and perpendicular, because this has to mount. So I don't have that. It's going to take 25 minutes to get to the shed and back to the container. I've just noticed that I can see that the tarpaulin's wearing thin where it's meeting these frames, and particularly where these pieces come back. So that's not good news. That means that this is going to come apart at some point. I think I need to get some towels or something and wrap around all of these. There's going to be a lot of bad weather coming soon, some big winds, a lot of rain. And the clocks have just gone back, so I've got another hour and it's going to get dark, so I'm a little bit frustrated because just taking a long time to get anything done because of having my bait here and then all of my tools 20 minutes away. Okay, so I just need to focus on what else I can do. I'm going to make up some hatch covers here out of Perspex. Yeah, okay, that's all I can do for now. One thing that has been kind of nice actually is just being in the boat when it's blowing quite hard outside. Oh, look, blue sky. Yeah, it's been quite a nice feeling being in. So, you know, I need to kind of like at least be happy that I'm out of the shed, and you know, that was a big achievement. The shed was kind of like being inside the womb, you know, very, very nice and safe. But I could have just been there for years and years on end, so I really did have to force myself to get out of the shed, and now I'm out of the shed. It's just, you know, a few challenges with the whole forgetting tools and stuff like that. I don't want to bring too much stuff down here to the boat because it's not secured. Yes. Yes. Just some little guides. Yes. Oops, let's move that one a bit. Good. Cool. So a piece of 200 by 100 garden sleeper on top to keep it down, and some little things to position it. Right, let's make another one. Well, unfortunately that's all I've got time for this update. So appreciate it's not been much action here. A lot of faffing around, a lot of forgetting stuff, a lot of driving back and forth to the container. Yeah, so much for the weekly updates. Anyway, it's a slow start, but I'm just adjusting to the way things are now. So I think next time I come back, I will have either some brand new fillers for water and fuel, or I would have done my research to work out what I can do with that material to see if I can actually polish it up. The other thing that I meant to catch up with, so last time obviously I filled up this trench with some thickened epoxy, so this has come up really nicely. I just need to get my belt sander, and probably just make this nice and level, because when I sit it in it's sort of rocking a little bit. There might be a couple of high spots, so I can do that, so that's almost done. I will bring back the right tools so that I can cut out this piece of tube up here. then I can get on top of the deck with a 95mm hole saw, drill down, start to set in my new air-only vents. Yeah, so there'll be a few pieces that are done that have waterproofed everything. And of course, like, I've got my hatch covers up now. The tent's holding up, will need some work. I need to bring back some more towels and things to wrap up the sharp corners. But, you know, essentially the boat's watertight. Great news about the keel, that it's nice and dry, even though the bilge was full of water. So yeah, it's not all bad, it's just a bit frustrating. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.